Nigerians who are victims of impunity in government by corrupt political class are fed up. Yeah, you are welcome back again. This is still BVI Channel 1 Political Review. I am Asusi Peters, your host. Today we are going to be reviewing the statement of the Labour Party presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, regarding the failed state, saying that Nigeria had become a failed state. That's part of what we're going to be talking about today on Political Review. So you join us in this deliberation as we listen to the Labour Party presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, as he gives this very narrative with respect to indicators of failed states, and I'll be joined by other people who will be contributing to this very topical issue we are going to be, discussing tonight. I will admonish you to subscribe on this channel if you have not. Share our content. This is our new channel. We are rebuilding from the scratch after we lost our old channel that has over nearly 200,000 subscribers. So we hope to rebuild back with your cooperation. What we need you to do is to click on the subscription button and always be here to be part of the conversation that gives clear insight where truth is said without reservation, where we are not politically correct, where we say it the way it is. So let me quickly, before wasting further time, because there's no need to waste any further time, we have actually come on live quite late. Now what we are going to do right now is to listen to Mr. Peter Obi as he makes this narrative, while I expect you to also share this video and bring other people on board. This is a live program. You can call these numbers right here on the screen to make your submission or join the conversation through our WhatsApp on this same line. So let's go there and let's get what the man said with respect to Nigeria as a failed state. I'll be right back.
Nigeria has qualified to be a failed state. We have met the 2 or 3 biggest characteristics of a failed state. Number 1 is when you're no longer in charge of your territory. Today, we are among the top terrorized countries of the world. We are among the top kidnapping countries of the world. Banditry, criminality, bandits have taken over some parts of this country. Nigerians are being killed daily. All sorts of criminality is going on daily. Even our most important source of foreign exchange revenue, oil, is today 80% stolen. That shows how bad it is. We are the only country, apart from Venezuela, who we know is their own is because of sanctions, that is not meeting up its OPEC quota. Every other country is begging for increase, but Nigeria is not meeting up its own. And you wouldn't believe the quantity that is missing. In July alone, our total average, our quota is 1.8 million. In July, our total average was 1,083,000 barrels a day. That means that in July, we lost 707,000 barrels per day. If you multiply that by 31 days, it will give you 22,227 barrels of oil that we lost. This is a country that needs dollar. If you sell it, if you sell that oil, if you sell the quantity we lost, this is July alone. If you sell it at the average price of $110, it will give you $2,450,000,000, which at our rate of exchange of 550, you lost. If you use 550, because I used an average of 550, you've lost 1,344,700,000,000 naira. That is your country. That's what you lost in 1 month because of stealing. It is important that we know this. Number two item to show that we are failed state is that you are no longer in control of your economy. Your economy today, we have an economy where we have over 100 million people living in poverty. Your unemployment is one of the worst in the world because you have a combined unemployment of 50%, unemployment and unemployment. Out of 200 million Nigerians, 60% is supposed to be working. So you're supposed to have 120 million Nigerians working, but today Nigerians that are working are under 50 million. So 70-something million of Nigerians are not working, they are not productive. When you compare this to your productivity, you will see how low it is. But what is even worse, we're in a physical mess, total physical mess. Because of all this, between January this year and April, the total revenue of federal government of Nigeria is 1,630,000,000,000 naira. Their expenditure is 4,720,000,000,000. If you minus this, we have a deficit of 3,100,000,000,000. That shows almost 20% to almost 200% is the deficit. And this is the crisis you face. How did we come here? It's a cumulative effect of leadership failure over the years. Because it's 10%, I'll stop here, I would have talked about power. How did we come here? What are we going to do very quickly to come out of this? Very quickly, you need to have a visionary, articulated, competent leadership to start turning around this. So next year, the time is up. I'll take it that next year, the election you're going to have next year will not be about, remember, it is not about tribe, no religion, not connection, not entitlement. It must be election about character, competence, capacity, and commitment to deliver.
You're welcome back again. This is still BVI Channel 1 and we are still on political review. It's a pleasure to have you guys back again and joining me in this conversation tonight, reviewing Nigeria as a failed state. Do you agree with Mr. Peter Obi as he made that statement? And if you do, and want to join in this conversation, just call these numbers right here on the screen, +2348104555533, to give us your own submission with respect to what we are talking about tonight. So I'll be joining me, Ndubisi Anenugu, who is an ambassador for good governance and part of this sensitization campaign to bring everyone on board. Hello. I'm part of this. Hello, Andy.
Hello.
Can you turn down the volume of where you are listening the program from? Because we are hearing our all back. Thank you very much. This is an ambassador for good governance, a prominent member of Nigerian people, all indigenous Nigerians from the hands of corrupt political class, and establish good governance, which will help usher in the kind of environment that will see to the liberation of the people. Hello, WBC, what is your take? Peter Obi said that Nigeria has all indicators of being a failed state. Do you agree with him? And what's your position on that?
Yes, thank you, Chinedu, and thank you to my good people listening across the world. Yes, Nigeria is a failed state from every indication. I quite agree with Peter Obi that Nigeria has failed. It is not just Peter Obi saying it. It is not the first time this has been mentioned. Not one person, not two, not three have acknowledged the fact that Nigeria has failed. So I can only agree with them. I cannot say more, because saying more is repeating what every other person knew. Thank you.
Okay, Andy, thank you very much for that, your position. Thank you so much. Now, having confirmed that Nigeria is a failed state, what are the indices? Do you think, in what areas do you think Nigeria had failed? And how do you think, as an economist, how this can be redeemed? And I've heard you in so many times and on this platform say that Nigeria is irredeemable. Do you think that Peter Obi can redeem Nigeria? Please give me the opportunity.
Yes, because we have to start from the known to unknown. The known we have now is that we have three major candidates contesting for the office of president coming next year 2027. We have the person of Ahmed Bola Tinubu of APC, and we have the person of Alhaji Abubakar Atiku, and we have the person of Mr. Peter Obi. These are known people that we have been able to establish. So I have to start from these people to ascertain Nigeria. Now, among the three, judging from their background, their network, their party political background, and of course, their political friends and affiliation, I want to say that if you want to assess anybody, you start by knowing who the person is, the character. Show me your friends, and I will tell you who you are. It's not because I'm from eastern part of Nigeria that I'm saying this. It is because I've been able to independently assess these individuals. Peter Obi has what it takes to redeem Nigeria. You know, not just one person, no single individual can redeem Nigeria. But Peter Obi is representing the face of mass movement, obedient struggle. And this obedient struggle, obedient movement, has Peter Obi as the face. So my belief in the person of Peter Obi leading an ideologically driven movement like this is based on what he has done in Anambra State. Peter Obi is strong-hearted. Peter Obi is the kind of person that determines to do something he will ensure that he goes about doing it to a logical conclusion. I want to give you one instance. In the history of Nigeria, Peter Obi is the first and the only person, of course, the first person. He may not be the only person, but he set the pace. He set the ball rolling. When he lost, or sorry, when he won election and the INEC declared another person, he went to court. I was here in Anambra State that time. I am not an outsider, I'm an insider. He went to court. First year, second year, people of Anambra State, key stakeholders, prominent people, church leaders came around, even party members called him to withdraw the case. That time Ngige was already doing well. He should withdraw the case and join Ngige. That maybe this was not his turn as at that time. But you know what? Peter Obi insisted that he was using his money and he will see the court case to a logical conclusion. That was when he had the issue with Chekwas Okole, because Chekwas Okole went to invite Ngige, who was then the sitting governor, to join ABGA. Ngige to join ABGA. Then Ngige was having an issue with PDP. But not minding all these crises, all this interference, all these distractions, Peter Obi insisted that he was using his money and that he will see the case to a logical conclusion. Behold, after 3 years, he won the case. I want to tell you that it is only few people in Nigeria that can stay put, that can remain resolute, even in the face of frustration, in the face of opposition, mounting internal and external oppositions, even within his family members. His wife then left him. She went back to UK. Peter Obi, as at that time, stayed alone with few other stakeholders in the party. He fought head on. So, from historical background, he made history by being the first person. I don't think Chinedu, maybe if there's any other person, you tell me. That is why we have the kind of election we're having in Nigeria, where Anambra State will do their own election, different from general election. That is that person, Peter Obi, that set that record. So what I'm trying to say is that to redeem Nigeria, I don't want to tell anybody or convince anybody that Peter Obi is sent or angel, that Peter Obi, once he becomes the president, he will change everything, he will turn everything. But what I want to tell people is that Peter Obi will be on the driving seat. And he has the kind of character. He is resolute. When he determined to drive a vehicle to Enugu, he will face his front and keeps on driving. So the kind of the country will have now, because Nigeria is the failed state. Almost every part of Nigeria is asking for their own independence, to have their own nation. The Yoruba people insist to have Oduduwa. The Igbo people are insisting to have Biafra. The North is also insisting to have their Islamic country or whatever thing you have. So the kind of person you have is the person that will sit down with these different people, listen to them, and play along what people need. What people need is the kind of structure that will guarantee equity, fairness, and justice. And I can see, and whoever that does it will redeem the country. And you can see, P2B has started doing it. We met with all the leaders of various ethnic leaders in the country today. He
Yeah.
had meeting with them. I've not seen Atiku holding meeting with this caliber of men and women. I've not seen Ahmed Tinubu doing the same thing. So I want to conclude by saying that the person and the character, Peter Obi, can actually redeem this country. If you ask me, what does it take to redeem the country? It's not a rocket science. What it takes to redeem the country is to get people to work. Let everybody contribute. Let everybody say you see something, say something. You'll be allowed to contribute. Not one person sitting somewhere and taking decision that concerns everybody. So is there a rocket science? Is there a rocket science taking back the country? Thank you, Chinedu.
Thank you.
For now,
Thank you.
this is what I can say for now.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. In case you're just joining us in this conversation, this is still BVI Channel 1 Political Review. We're talking about indicators of failed state, Nigeria being a failed state, and we're drawing our discussion tonight from the statement of Mr. Peter Obi, who highlighted some of the indicators of Nigeria being a failed state. And in case you're just joining us, this is a live broadcast. You can subscribe, like, share, and also join in this conversation through the number on the screen, +2348104545533. You can reach us through WhatsApp, or you can call direct line, so that we will, be on the same page on this very discussion. Now, I would like to quickly refresh again, once more, the statement of Mr. Peter Obi for those who are just joining us right now, so that they will be able to actually follow up with what we have said so far. So I'll be right back after this short video from Mr. Peter Obi.
That will Nigeria have qualified to be a failed state. We have met the 2 or 3 biggest characteristics of a failed state. Number 1 is when you're no longer in charge of your territory. Today, we are among the top terrorized countries of the world. We are among the top kidnapping countries of the world. Bandits have taken over some parts of this country. Nigerians are being killed daily. All sorts of criminality is going on daily. Even our most important source of foreign exchange revenue, oil, is today 80% stolen. That shows how bad it is. We are the only country, apart from Venezuela, who we know is their own is because of sanctions, that is not meeting up its OPEC quota. Every other country is begging for increase, but Nigeria is not meeting up its own. And you wouldn't believe the quantity that is missing. In July alone, our total average, our quota is 1.8 million. In July, our total average was 1,083,000 barrels a day. That means that in July, we lost 707,000 barrels per day. If you multiply that by 31 days, it will give you 22,227 barrels of oil that we lost. This is a country that needs dollar. If you sell it, if you sell that oil, if you sell the quantity we lost, this is July alone. If you sell it at the average price of $110, it will give you $2,450,000,000, which at our rate of exchange of 550 You lost, if you use 550, because I used an average of 550, you've lost 1,344,700,000,000 naira. That is your country. That's what you lost in 1 month because of stealing. It is important that we know this. Number two item to show that we are failed state is that you are no longer in control of your economy. Your economy today, we have an economy where we have over 100 million people living in poverty. Your unemployment is one of the worst in the world because you have a combined unemployment of 50%, unemployment and underemployment. Out of 200 million Nigerians, 60% is supposed to be working. So you're supposed to have 120 million Nigerians working, but today Nigerians that are working are under 50 million. So 70-something million of Nigerians are not working, they are not productive. When you compare this to your productivity, you will see how low it is. But what is even worse, we're in a physical mess, total physical mess. Because of all this, between January this year and April, the total revenue of federal government of Nigeria is 1,630,000,000,000 naira. Their expenditure is 4,720,000,000,000. If you minus this, we have a deficit of 3,100,000,000,000. That shows almost 20% to almost 200% is the deficit. And this is the crisis you face. How did we come here? It's a cumulative effect of leadership failure over the years. Because it's 10%, I'll stop here, I would have talked about power. How did we come here? What are we going to do very quickly to come out of this? Very quickly, you need to have a visionary, articulated, competent leadership to start turning around this. So next year, the time is up, I'll take it that next year, the election you're going to have next year will not be about, remember, it is not about tribe, no religion, not connection, not entitlement. It must be election about character, competence, capacity, and commitment to deliver.
Sorry about that mix-up. We are still live on our broadcast today, Political Review. We are still looking at the topic, Nigeria as a failed state. That's what Mr. Peter Obi just elaborated right there. And we are taking your opinion very seriously. That is why we made this live broadcast, to get your opinion with respect to this issue. Is Nigeria truly a failed state? I have Ndubisi here with me, who is an ambassador for good governance. You can also join us in this conversation by calling the numbers right here on the screen, +234 810 4545 533. All right. Now, talking about Nigeria being a failed state, what are the indicators of being a failed state? just like Mr. Peter Obi said, Nigeria has lost control of the territory. When you say, hey, Nigeria is indivisible, that Nigeria is a sovereign country, whereas some parts of Nigeria today have been taken over by foreigners, the one the federal government acknowledged as foreigners, foreign terrorists, declaring territories, taking hold of control of a chunk of areas in Nigeria, local government areas and parts of northern states, declaring it Islamic rule and the rest of them. So when you see all of those things, and when you look at the level of insecurity in Nigeria, where criminals, hoodlums, terrorists run, riot, they are in charge, everyone is apprehensive, no one truly knows if his life is secure. Then also looking at the economy, battered. In fact, Nigeria has never had it this bad before. And that's also instigated many people who have been sitting on the fence when it comes to agitation from different indigenous nationalities in Nigeria, either Oduduwa, Arewa, or Biafra. Many people are now surging to affiliate with their regional indigenous agitations as the only way, because Nigeria has completely collapsed. And even to a large extent, some people are even saying that since Nigeria is collapsed, then everything should be done with. Let Nigeria completely be disintegrated. And that is the opinion of too many people from the east, north, west, and south. But now you have an option, because when people say these things, you ask, how would your agitation be brought to the table and the matter solved to a logical conclusion? That's why we advocate for good governance. Good governance will ensure that even your aspiration, as it is being tabled brought to the table for discussion, the system will not break down to the point of complete collapse. Nobody, what is your take? Unmute yourself.
Hello.
Go ahead, Ndubuisi.
Hello, what's the question? My take on what, sorry?
On the agitation that arose from different quarters in Nigeria with respect to the indicators of failed system that actually made so many agitation from different ethnic nationalities and indigenous people demanding for a complete breakdown. So you can see that Nigeria had never had it this bad before, and Mr. Peter Obi had said that in a clear terms that Nigeria is a failed state. So, and you are seeing agitators or agitation springing up everywhere. What is your take on bringing the whole agitation to the table and possibly putting an end to this whole mess we call Nigeria as it is today?
Yes, my take is just simple: sincerity of purpose. Our leaders, our political leaders, are not sincere. I keep on saying that all these things are not rocket science. Leadership is not a rocket science, my brother. You cannot give what you don't have. You can't give what you don't have. If you don't have content, you can't produce it anywhere. This is what you develop over the years. If you don't know leadership, you cannot know it overnight. So, if you have the right person at leadership position, which is very sensitive, you will begin to have results. Why people say that leadership is the problem of Nigeria? Because we have never had a good. If you have a good person, a visionary leader who cares for the people, who is ready to serve public interest, not for personal interest, not stakeholders' interest, not interest of cabal, but interest of the people. Like you can see that MBA conference, you can see it to be defining conference and democracy as the government of the people, by the people, and for the people.
Exactly. Yeah.
This has been defined over the years, decades, centuries ago. We all did government in school. We all did government in school. These are the things we read in our secondary school textbook, that democracy is defined as government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So if it's defined this way,
it's all about the people. It's all about the people.
it's all about the people. So if it's defined this way, Chinedu, why you are asking me about my take? It's just repetition, also repeating what we've already known. I think at this stage, what we ought to do is how to do it. How do we put the right person in government? How do we ensure that the right person wins those sensitive positions in government, like the governor and the president? Like, do you know what we did in Anambra State? We stood our ground. We spent, I want to repeat it again, millions of naira to sensitize and go to the street, to go to the villages, hold town hall meeting, keep on convincing even the agitators. Chinedu, got to a point when you said if you must die, that you have to die for something, and that thing you believe is what you are fighting and what you fought for. And at the end of the day, Soludo won. The Soludo did not win the election. They did not stop there. We have continued monitoring him. Any place he's not doing it right, we will call his attention head on. So I think the most important thing, we having known the definition of democracy and having established the fact that Nigeria is not practicing democracy. It is a system of stakeholders. It is system established by cabal for the interest of very few people, for their families, while the rest of Nigerians are suffering. If you are looking at my take on whether Nigeria has failed, I can tell you, everywhere you look, people are disillusioned, people are depressed, people are dying every day, both the rich, the poor, the workers. Look at today, I think today or yesterday, or yesterday or so, or day before yesterday, a lecturer died in University of Port. Why? Because the Minister of Education announced that ASUM members or lecturers will lose their 6 months salary because they did not work. It is no work, no pay. All of a sudden, the man had stroke and he died. Because you wouldn't know he has been borrowing money. And you are saying that if ASU should call us strike the next day, that he will not get anything, he will not be paid anything. And whereas people are being paid for working in refineries that are not working, government agencies that are not productive, people are getting their money. So if you are saying I should look around and tell you signs of failed state, can you look around? There is no security any place. People are being kidnapped on daily basis. 4 sisters were kidnapped in Imo State few days ago. And do you know how much they paid? They paid millions of naira for them to secure their freedom. This is in a system, it was 4th century, where almost everybody, almost every average person has a GSM. This is a system where with the GSM you can be monitored. We are told to do name register. Oh, sorry. Hello, Chinedu. It's like I've lost you.
Of course, we can hear you. Go ahead. We didn't
Hello.
Go ahead. We can hear you.
Hello.
We can hear you, Andy. We can hear you very well.
Oh. are being kidnapped on daily basis and nothing happens. Nothing happens. The security agencies are overwhelmed, or perhaps they are not just overwhelmed, but they are as confused as anything. Having seen politicians making billions of naira with impunity, jetting outside the country, having their kids in all parts of in the schools all over the world, and nothing happens. Stealing money with impunity, and you want them to go and die. Nobody wants to die for the country. Or Chinedu, you want to look at PMS, you want to look at AGO, because of diesel, the operational cost of companies powering their machine, their production machines. You want to look at cost of kerosene, the common man, DPK, the common thing you have, something we were endowed. In international economies, what you are endowed is supposed to be sold at a cheaper rate. But in this country, even elementary, somebody in secondary school, economy in secondary school, should know that God blessed you so much, and that God blessed you with should be sold at a cheaper price. But here, kerosene, a liter of kerosene is 600 to 700 naira. Can you justify it? Is there any justification for that? What other failed state that ASUU university students are not going for school for 6 months and government is not doing anything? Today, also ASUU has declared indefinite strike, that they are ready to die while being on strike. And you have a president, and you have a minister, and you have all those ones collecting billions of naira. And you are asking.
You also have politicians that have their children studying abroad or studying abroad.
None of them is here. None of them is here in Nigerian university. And you are asking me, how is Nigeria a failed state? In fact, the truth of the matter is that Nigerians are tired. Nigerians are just the Nigerians cannot wait to change this government.
Okay, Ndubisi, now that we are on the same page, everyone has come to agree that Nigeria is a failed state. No one is arguing that. And there are so many people from different indigenous backgrounds saying that we want a country of our own. We want to separate ourselves from this failed state. Is there anything wrong with it?
No, not at all. There's nothing wrong with that. But the only thing wrong with some people saying that they want to separate is the method and procedure. You cannot want to cure a situation by creating another complex situation. If you want to separate, if you want to move out of the country, there's already internationally established way of doing it. If one is pursuing the right way to move out of the country, I do not have anything wrong with that. Okay, I will give you instance with the Boko Haram people. The Boko Haram want to establish their Islamic country, but they go about killing people, killing everybody, using force to take over their land. Is that allowed? Is that allowed? In a situation like that, the force will be applied to stop that. It's only when you are ready to go to round table discussion, to put down your demand, because everybody is begging demand. And the system will look at it and say, okay, is that what you are saying? If you are saying this, okay, can we have a referendum to know whether what you are saying represents the opinion of your people? I think that's the right way to go. And Yorubas have already written President Buhari, I think last 2 weeks, fortnight ago. They wrote him making demands on why they want to move out of the country. And I mentioned Yorubas, I don't mean all the Yorubas, because there are some who still believe that Nigeria can still be redeemed, while there are some who believe that Nigeria is all over, it cannot be redeemed. So it's all about going to the conference hall or to round table, discuss with those ones who believe that Nigeria will still be redeemed, and those ones who wants to move out of the country. If need be, this is democracy. You organize a referendum for them. And at the end of the day, who knows? Those ones who still want to be part of Nigeria may win. That is done everywhere in the world. But the first thing first is to initiate a process of discussion. A responsible government will always initiate that process of dialogue. The same thing with the eastern part of Nigeria. We know that there are people who said Nigeria cannot be redeemed, whether they are serious or not, but they are saying it every day that Nigeria cannot be redeemed. That the best thing for them, for Nigeria to do, is to grant them their own Biafra. But my own take is that power is not given, power is taken. Nobody will grant you that if you are not strong enough to dialogue and negotiate your way out of Nigeria. So, and there are people in eastern part of Nigeria like me. I believe that it's not the issue of being whether Nigeria can be redeemed or not, but the issue of having the right structure that can guarantee equity, fairness, and justice. And that right structure is what Afenifere them are saying, is what the Niger Middle Belt leaders are saying, is what Nyamu Ohaneze is saying. Like, let us go back to Republican Constitution 1963-64 before the military intervention. Let us start from there first. Let us go back to the regional politics, regional autonomy. That is my own Biafra. When I go there, now I will decide what to do with it. Because ndị Igbo si na ana azọtagodo ana wee zọbuta. You cannot just say give us Biafra. Nobody will give you that. You have to negotiate from your position of strength. What is your strength? Have you been able to organize your home first? Those of us who are saying give us Biafra, have you been able to organize Southeast? Southeast is like a battle zone now. The economy of Southeast is nothing to write home about. We have to come together and build our land first. We have to come home and pick our leaders. We have to come home and build our communities, build industry, build companies to accommodate our youth. Exactly. Our youth are everywhere in Nigeria, running everywhere. Home is hostile to them. It's not friendly to them. So we need to start building up our home first. That is my own idea of Biafra. You know, but some other people may disagree with me.
No, I think that's a good starting point, considering the fact that Nigeria is a failed state, and we're talking about the solution. And the only solution available right now is to bring everybody to the table. But that will not happen miraculously. It has to be with work, just like you pointed out. And I believe that too. Like, I am a proclaimed, acknowledged, well-acknowledged Biafran. Okay? And I advocate for Biafra, but when you say, oh, this is what we want, oh, this is what we want, now Nigeria is a failed state, it cannot be redeemed. What solution are you bringing, and how do you think it's going to work out? Because we are not just talking about the southeast, we are also talking about the entire part of Nigeria, the north, the east, the west. Everywhere is suffering the failed system you have in this country as a result of bad governance. That is even the bottom line. There are bad governance in the southeast, bad governance in the south-south, bad governance in the middle belt, that is north central, bad governance in the southwest, bad governance in the northeast and the northwest. Everywhere you go in Nigeria, most politicians in Nigeria are corrupt. And as a result of that, they have instituted a system of impunity. They have instituted a system that guarantees effectively Nigeria being a failed state. So there's no doubt or argument about it. But now, how do you go about getting what you want? And coming from the most popular presidential candidate in the upcoming election, telling you that he wants to offer himself to serve Nigerian people, to solve this problem, to redeem Nigerians from Nigeria. Because that is how I see it. I don't know you get me, if you get me into BC. To redeem Nigerians from Nigeria, from the failed system in Nigeria. You get that, Ndubisi?
Yes, I got that.
So, when people are looking at the man, Mr. Peter Obi, as he makes some of these statements, the entire Nigerian people surge towards him. The kind of acceptability from across board, from all ethnic nationalities, from all background, from all religion, echoing, we need this deliverance, we need this salvation to save Nigerian people from Nigeria, to salvage Nigerians, indigenous people living in Nigeria, trapped in Nigeria, from the impunity of a failed system you called Nigeria. So that is what we are reviewing tonight. And we are live on this program. I am discussing this with my brother Ndubisi and Enugu. And in case you're just joining us for the first time, let us quickly take a recap on the topic we are reviewing, and from the point of view of Mr. Peter Obi delivering this speech, Nigeria being a failed state. Don't forget to subscribe on this channel. This is our new channel where we are building another community after the first one has been taken down, to give the people a voice. So we look up to you to be part of this community and part of this journey, to give the people a voice, unite the people, bring people together to stand up for what is right and for their liberation. So I will admonish you to click on the subscription button while we take a quick swipe again on this very statement delivered by Mr. Peter Obi. You stay put. I'll be right back.
Nigeria have qualified to be a failed state. We have met the 2 or 3 biggest characteristics of a failed state. Number one is when you're no longer in charge of your territory. Today, we are among the top terrorized countries of the world. We are among the top kidnapping countries of the world. Banditry, criminality, bandits have taken over some parts of this country. Nigerians are being killed daily. All sorts of criminality is going on daily. Even our most important source of foreign exchange revenue, oil, is today 80% stolen. That shows how bad it is. We are the only country, apart from Venezuela, who we know is their own is because of sanctions, that is not meeting up its OPEC quota. Every other country is begging for increase, but Nigeria is not meeting up its own. And you wouldn't believe the quantity that is missing. In July alone, our total average, our quota is 1.8 million. In July, our total average was 1,083,000 barrels a day. That means that in July, we lost 707,000 barrels per day. If you multiply that by 31 days, it will give you 22,227 barrels of oil that we lost. This is a country that needs dollar. If you sell it, if you sell that oil, if you sell the quantity we lost, this is July alone. If you sell it at the average price of $110, it will give you $2,450,000,000, which at our rate of exchange of 550, you lost. If you use 550, because I used an average of 550, you've lost 1,344,700,000,000 naira. That is your country. That's what you lost in 1 month because of stealing. It is important that we know this. Number two item to show that we are failed state is that you are no longer in control of your economy. Your economy today, we have an economy where we have over 100 million people living in poverty. Your unemployment is one of the worst in the world because you have a combined unemployment of 50%, unemployment and unemployment. Out of 200 million Nigerians, 60% is supposed to be working. So you're supposed to have 120 million Nigerians working, but today Nigerians that are working are under 50 million. So 70-something million of Nigerians are not working, they are not productive. When you compare this to your productivity, you will see how low it is. But what is even worse, we're in a physical mess, total physical mess. Because of all this, between January this year and April, the total revenue of federal government of Nigeria is 1,630,000,000,000 naira. Their expenditure is 4,720,000,000,000. If you minus this, we have a deficit of 3,100,000,000,000. That shows almost 20% to almost 200% is the deficit. And this is the crisis you face. How did we come here? It's a cumulative effect of leadership failure over the years. Because it's 10%, I'll stop here, I would have talked about power. How did we come here? What are we going to do very quickly to come out of this? Very quickly, you need to have a visionary, articulated, competent leadership to start turning around this. So next year, the time is up. I'll take it that next year, your election you're going to have next year will not be about, remember, it is not about tribe, no religion, not connection, not entitlement. It must be election about character, competence, capacity, and commitment to deliver. Nigeria have qualified to be a failed state. We have met the 2 or 3 biggest characteristics of a failed state. Number one is when you're no longer in charge of your territory. Today, we are among the top terrorized countries of the world. We are among the top kidnapping countries of the world. Banditry, criminality, bandits have taken over some parts of this country. Nigerians are being killed daily. All sorts of criminality is going on daily. Even our most important source of foreign exchange revenue, oil.
Yeah, you're welcome back again. We just have to cut that thing off. We have been playing it for some time now, and it is, repeating itself. But we want you to grab a little bit of what we're talking about for for your understanding with respect to the issue on the Nigerian as a failed state. We are wrapping it up. It's all 1 hour. We started this program. We encourage you to go back, start from the beginning to highlight the opinions we've all thrown out here and the conversation I have with Ndubisi and Enugu. It is important you subscribe on this channel. You can join us on this political review every evening on this platform, BVI Channel 1. You can also join the conversation through the numbers on the screen. I will always appreciate you as we are rebuilding our community. Please endeavor to be part of it by subscribing to our YouTube channel and follow us on all our social media platforms. Ndubisi, let's get your word before we wrap it up for tonight. What is your word to the Nigerian people who are listening to us from across the globe?
Thank you, Chinedu. My position will always be that power belongs to the people, informed people. It is only informed people that know how to handle power or how to take over power from the oppressed or from the oppressors. So my message is for us, all the people who are informed. You can see all of us on the social media every day talking. It is the responsibility, we have it as a responsibility to take power from our oppressors, from our slave masters, because we understand what to do with this power. If we are leaving it to the ordinary people in the village who may not have sources of income, they're already done. And these are the people, the powerful oppressors take as our structures. Exactly. When they want to laugh us or when they want to laugh us, they say we don't have structure. Because they are dependent on the decision of those local people who do not have voice of their own or who do not have opinion of their own.
Yeah.
Chinedu, if you noted, when I was asking them in one community we went the other time, I was asking them why, I was telling them why they were poor. The reason why they were poor. Because our resources, our scarce resources is not evenly distributed. It's because of inequalities on equal distribution of resources that will make some people to have while others will not have. Yeah. Those who do not have, then see it as is act of God, is the way God wanted it. But they will not see it that they have the same equal right with those ones that have. So it is our responsibility to continue sensitizing and educating these ordinary people to know that this political power should belong to them, the people. Yeah. And whatever benefit that is coming from that political power should be distributed evenly. So the message I would pass on to the general public this evening is that we should continue to do the needful using our resources, using our scarce resources. There are some people who have money and there are some people who don't have. There are some people who are donating their time resources to do this job. If you know you cannot donate your time resources, you can donate your financial resources to encourage those who have made up their mind to come out to serve in service of humanity. So that is the message I'm passing on to our people, that we will continue. That power is not given, power is taken, and it will not fall from heaven.
Exactly. Because that's exactly where I'm heading to. What could be the benefits, the outstanding benefits lying in wait for those who are still sitting on the fence to get involved and engage in this very process, this electoral process that will usher in a new system that will favor them? in whatever agitation they are agitating for, especially our own people from the east asking for Biafra, and those from the west asking for Duduwa, and even those from the north asking for Islamic State.
I will simply tell them that this is not the time to sit on the fence. This is the time to go out there and be part of the change agents. Be part of those people who will fight for change and get it. Because whatever thing you did, you must struggle. You don't get it by staying inside the house sleeping. You don't get it by going to church and be praying. I know it's possible for manna to fall from heaven, but you know it's only through miracle. You don't have control of that. This is not the time to sit on the fence. This is the time to join any support group that is doing the right thing. I'm not saying you must be part of Good Governance Ministry, but if you must be, Good Governance Ministry is a place to be. But if you can't be in Good Governance Ministry, you join any other support group that is asking for positive change in the country, not the kind of change that Buhari brought into the country. To the Biafran guys and Biafran supporters, anybody advising you not to be part of this election, such person does not like you. Anybody preaching violence, ask the person to bring down his children, bring down his family to Anibo here to start the fight. Let the person start the fight here. Don't listen to anybody asking you not to be part of the election, that Biafra is coming next year. That is deceit, 419. There are so many people into the business of 419 because of joblessness. So many people using Biafra brand to make money, to accumulate wealth not needed. Anybody giving you such advice is a criminal. I am saying it is a criminal and should be ignored. Let him be talking to himself.
And sometimes when we say these things, people will label you a saboteur, or that you don't want Biafra to come, that you are the people that are truncating Biafra from coming. Don't you see that it's a really big, serious situation we have on our hands, talking about, trying to enlighten people who are already brainwashed? I know that Biafra No, Chinedu, you continue. I will continue saying the right thing, irrespective of what the people will say. I started saying in 2013 or 2014 that whoever that is telling you Biafra will come next year or will come, if you sleep and you wake up, you see Biafra, is deceiving you, is feeding from the frustration of the people, is just sentimental. Because people love the name Biafra, and at times I used to ask people, why do you even love the name Biafra? What is the meaning of Biafra? There are so many people who can't define what is Biafra. So many people don't even know how a new country is founded, or a new country is created. So those people shouting Biafra will come is feeding from people's ignorance. So it behoves of me, it's left for me as somebody who believes that he has a small village sense to sensitize the people the right direction to follow. And I will continue saying it irrespective of what anybody says. Whether anybody is calling me saboteur or no saboteur, the fact remains that a new nation has a procedure, has a way. There must be an established way to get a new country. You cannot get it by shouting or by killing everybody. You can't win a war against state actors. You can't win a war with contributors' money, or by bombing police station, or by snatching gun from military men, or by guerrilla warfare. You cannot go far with the kind of divide and rule we have here in Igbo land.
with the kind of hatred. People, a lot of people are making money. If you're into that, they will isolate you. You'll be isolated and treated as criminal. You know, if you are fighting for people, you have to fight the right way, and the people will love you. You will be with them. You will be in the system. You know, you will be free to move around. But people deceiving you that a freedom fighter doesn't stay with the people. A freedom fighter places prison, exile, or grave. That is this is 21st century. Things have changed. Things have changed, and we have to change with things. So when people brainwash you that if you are fighting for freedom, you don't say with the enemy. Who is the enemy? Who is the enemy?
Sometimes we are our own enemies.
Yes, now.
Yeah.
People are being deceived that if you are fighting for when people say fighting, what are you fighting? Are you fighting with your mouth, or are you fighting with God? Are you fighting with beak? People should define what they are fighting for. Or when people use the word "I'm agitating," what are you agitating? What is your problem? What are you actually agitating? We have to start defining all these things. Because if you agitated, you should be agitated about the way governor is spending your money, about the way how senator representative is spending his money, about the way Federal House of Representatives representative is spending your money, cruising around and moving. Oh God, you have many things to be agitated for. You agitate correctly, and don't get angry over nothing. So Chinedu, that is my advice to our people, and I will continue saying it whether anybody likes it or not.
No, you have made a very clear point, and I agree with you. And for those of you who are watching, you don't need to get it twisted, don't get it misunderstood. Okay, we are here to inform the Biafran people, especially with the right information, and not feeding on their sentiments, their emotions, and throwing up garbage in the name of broadcast, so that people will love you, so that people will know that you are fighting for Biafra. No. What we tell you here is the gospel truth, nothing but the truth. Okay, so that's why we admonish you to subscribe on this channel. When we talk about Nigeria being a failed state, Nigeria as a whole, you have Biafrans in it, you have Oduduwas in it, you have Arewas in it, and each of those areas are all experiencing the failed state of Nigeria. The level of insecurity, bad economy, and the rest of them. Now, when you come down to East, to start with, the Biafran land, our homeland, you have some bunch of criminals parading themselves as freedom fighters, kidnapping people, collecting ransom, stealing phones, and the rest of them. And they will fly Biafra flag. They will tell you Biafra or death, and people will give them moral support. They will go to police stations, burn down police stations, kill police officers, kill army officers. And at the end of the day, when the Nigerian state responds by bringing out their security outfit, the army on the street, roll them out on the street, people will start shouting, they are killing us, they are killing us. But we gave criminals who are not fighting for our interests, people who are just carrying about their criminal activities, hiding under the guise that they are fighting for freedom, saying that they are fighting for freedom while they are kidnapping people and collecting ransom, keeping our young ones and our economy battered. Our children no longer go to school on Mondays. Now, they are now 1 day short of every week academic calendar, putting others ahead of them, dwindling our economy. And at the end of the day, some people will say, hey, they are fighting for freedom. What kind of freedom do we want in Biafran land with all those things? That is even adding salt to the injury of the failed state called Nigeria. When you are economy is battered, when your security cannot be guaranteed, what else do you call a failed state? So we shouldn't, as a people, if you are a Biafran, a true Biafran, you should join hands with what BVI Channel 1 is propagating, and through the Good Governance Ministry, to establish good governance, where the economy of our homeland will start, breathing back again, where lives and properties can be guaranteed once again. That is the only way we can say we have pulled out from being a failed state. So thank you for watching this far, and I appreciate every one of you who have joined us on this program. Make our time to be with us again on our weekly programs, Political Review, and as well Matters Arising. I am Asu Chinedu Peters. I'm signing out. Thank you, Ndubisi, for joining me in this conversation. God bless you as we continue in this drive, Ndubisi. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chinedu, and good night.
All right, thank you very much. And to our viewers, we say thank you. We appreciate every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, be part of what we're doing right here, be part of this community that is really sensitizing our people and bringing a stable system, a stable society that will guarantee the freedom we seek. On this, I'm wrapping it up on Political Review tonight. May God bless you. Good night and stay safe.
Nigerians who are victims of impunity in government by corrupt political class are fed up.